Good afternoon, Mark Gassert. This is Elevate Your Profits. How are you, bud?
I'm doing tremendous on this Monday. Another magnificent Monday. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the 27th. Do you realize that we're flying through March? And, people here at around Georgia, Peachtree Corners, they're getting ready for spring break. But, Tom, I understand you had a bunch of snow over the weekend.
We had 8 to 10 inches of snow in our area.
Wow.
And today we have nearly 50-degree temperature. Supposed to get again snow on Wednesday. So this has been an interesting end of winter for us. I can't wait for spring. So the March and early April snows are just the last of winter. So hopefully this will be the last one this week. Right. So the end of the first quarter. So, but tonight we're going to do something a little different too. So Mark,
we're not going to talk about the first or second quarter, right? We're going to do something a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Going to get out of that corporate America mold and,
Yeah. So we're going to roll out our entry here for us, and we'll be right back. And we are back. I could have just kept playing that around and around. So there we are. Elevate your profits. So Mark, why don't you just go ahead and share a little bit why we put this program on?
All right. Elevating your profits. Elevate your profits is the right verbiage. I call it EYP. What's it all about? Very simply, it's not just about dollars and cents. Although we do advocate that it's okay to make a few dollars along the way. And if you have a business, you're successful at it, or you're starting out a business, solopreneur, entrepreneur, you have a concept, an idea, we welcome you to come on this program, this platform, and you can get up here and advocate what it is that you do. Like I've said in the past, we've had people that are authored. We've had people that are in the credit industry. We've had people that, health and fitness, I could go on and on and on. It doesn't really matter. But if you have a cause or something that you're real passionate about as well, doesn't have to be just about money, how you're helping your fellow man, your brother and sister out there on this planet, please share it with us. We always want to learn from you.
Yeah, tonight we are going to be talking a little bit more specific about money in regards to recession. I want to do a little plug for next Monday. You don't want to miss next Monday. We're bringing in Dr. Lee Osler. He wrote this book, Why It Matters: How to Become Recession Proof in a Gig Economy. Be a side hustle thousandaire. He spells out really clear what's going on today in this economy and why we need to have a second source of income, or an MSI, and a gig economy. I'm going to go through that a little bit tonight. But what we're going to do first, we're going to play a little video. This video is from a friend of mine up in Toronto, Canada, that does documentary films, and this is a trailer to one of his documentaries. But it hits some home runs with regards to what we're going to be covering tonight around cash flow. So important to understand cash flow in your personal life as well as in your business life. And then we'll get into gig economy concepts and why it's so important to have those in place to protect yourself from the recession that we're in. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that video real quick.
Do you guys know what cash flow is at all? Have you heard of the term cash flow? No? Okay. What did your parents sort of teach you about the topic of finance?
Honestly, my dad always told me to save, but that's about it.
What did your parents teach you about finance, or what did you learn about finance?
Nothing.
Have you ever heard of the term cash flow before?
Cash flow, yeah, I have, but I mean,
Do you know what it means, cash flow?
The reason why statistics show that 95% of Canadians adopt a model of saving their money versus 5% of the people that are wealthy that are creating cash flow, primarily because the 95% have adopted this model because they inherited it from their parents, where the 5% grew up in an environment that their parents helped them understand how to create cash flow as opposed to saving their money.
You'll find that wealthy families develop wealthy children, poor families develop poor children, regardless of the country, the economy, the tax system. The wealthy become wealthy in any economy, in any country.
If you're walking around with limited beliefs about money, that's all you're going to see, because what you focus on grows. What you put your energy to, for your focus to, your energy goes to that.
Breaking free would be just having the choice, really, of doing what you want, when you want to do it, with whomever you would like to do it with.
If you work for money, you'll never get rich or wealthy. All my life, the big mistake that I made, I was working for money. Today at 83, I learned how to make money work for me.
Until you're able to buy your time back, you're not free. With passive residual income, what it creates is money that's being made without your input.
Landlords were landlords. Nothing has changed. Today you can be a landlord with the bank's money. Why are people called lords? Because they don't have to work for money.
Would you want the $1 million right now? Or would you want the $10,000 a month in cash flow for the rest of your life and your family's life for generations to come?
It's not saving money that makes you wealthy or rich.
It's income that's coming in while you sleep. It's income coming in while you eat breakfast, while you do nothing, and while you work really hard. It's a steady income stream that continues, which provides freedom, not only currently for yourself and for your children, but also for future generations of their children and their grandchildren.
I'm not bound by ball and chain of a desk, by having to show up 9 to 5 every day.
It's indescribable, the freedom that's achieved from not having to worry about mortgages, about bills, about finances.
Your income in 5 years will be the sum total of your 5 best friends. Once you take full responsibility for your financial results, you can begin to start to change it.
You have a choice of being a millionaire or billionaire.
So, Mark, would you come away from that short little video?
It's pretty interesting what people, their concept of money. I know you've talked about this, your self-image and how you feel about it. And it's like people don't want to talk about it, it's but you need it. And it's just interesting how people kind of play it down. But I was really intrigued with that elderly gentleman there. He was very astute when he said, I just work for money, and I just approached it this way. And it looks like he had a mindset shift, and he's looking at things a little bit differently. And while you were sharing it, that's what went through my mind, how everybody, we talk about the gig economy. Even my financial planner mentioned that, about a lot of people are pseudo-retired with a gig economy. And what we're talking about tonight is applicable to a lot of Americans out there. Let's as we say, let's strip our clothes off and let's get into the real deal, because don't fake yourself out, because things I'm not saying are doom and gloom, but it's definitely a different perspective out there from the ends of you've been in finance for so long, Tom. I'm sure you're seeing things that you thought you'd never see before. What's happening? And I know you've talked about these things 2 years ago, and some of them are coming to fruition. And it applies to everybody.
You mentioned something, doom and gloom. Doom and gloom, it can be doom if you're not prepared and have a proper mindset to take the appropriate action to understand that you do have control. The economy doesn't control you. So tonight I'm going to go through a few points. Hopefully just this little presentation will get you to rethink what you're doing, to look at what's going on in your own personal economy. We are being affected by recession, and I don't believe it's going to get better. So the sooner you take action on having a game plan or a plan B or MSI, a supplemental income, you're going to be that much better off. I've been was in the financial services arena, teaching people the principles of working with the dollars you have, and then finding ways to create income, passive income, to build wealth with. And I like the comment here: would you rather have $1 million today or $10,000 a month from generation to generation? That's what I'd rather have, is the $10,000 a month, because you could have $1 million today and it could be gone tomorrow. But if you had built a machine, a business, an asset that gives you that type of income, that is pretty powerful. And that's one of the things, my mission and goal is, I've done it on some degree of scale, not to those big numbers, but that's my objective, is to get to that place where that consistent $10,000 a month comes in from multiple sources of income, and I don't have to worry about finances. I've already implemented those things in my life, some sound, prudent, basic concepts about financial planning, living below your means, saving money, getting out of debt, those type of things. So we're gonna tonight, where I'm just going to go through some ideas and points for you to think about, is what is the gig economy? The gig economy has basically been in place for a long, long time. But it's really becoming more and more prevalent with technology and home-based business, online businesses, where you don't have to go out and get in a lift truck or car or anything like that, or take a second job. You can work and build some passive income or second businesses or secondary incomes through the gig economy. The numbers are staggering, how many people are actually in the gig economy, actually doing something on the side. So we're going to go through that. So I'm going to share my screen here, Mark.
Outstanding.
So what I want us to do tonight is just think a little bit about this. Rethink how we earn money. What have we been taught to do? Trade our time for dollars. And that's good for a lot of people, but for me, it has never really worked. So I want you to rethink some of the things that you may be thinking right at the moment. So we'll just move to the next slide. What is financial security? It refers to the peace of mind felt when you aren't worried about money. Often this means you're having enough money to comfortably cover expenses, be debt-free, and having savings to cover emergencies. That's the basic, simplest definition of financial security, when you're not worrying about money. And most people, the number one stressor they have in their life is money. And there's solutions to all these issues around money in your belief system. So we're at some of the principles I'm going to take out. Monday night, Dr. Lee Osler is coming in. He's an ASEA associate. He's written 3 books, 2 of them in and around the ASEA redox molecules and the power of what they do for your health. But he recently wrote this book because he is impacted by participating in the gig economy, and it's made him financially independent, and he doesn't have to worry about money today. So he wrote a book out there. He'll be coming in next Monday night, and we'll be sharing. He'll dive a little bit deeper. He'll do a better job than I'm doing right now. So I want to move to the next slide right now. Are we in a recession in 2023? We've heard, I'm not going to get political here, but we've heard a lot of different things that we're not in a recession, it's transitory, but we've been in a recession for the last 2 years. And most economists today think that this recession is really going to hit later this year. So we need to be prepared for that. This just recently came out on February 23rd. So I believe we're in for, this is what a lot of the experts are saying, we're going to be seeing it escalate between now and the end of the year. 7 ways to recession-proof your life. Do a personal financial audit. Myself being in the financial arena, most people don't understand where all their dollars, they may know where the dollars are coming from, but they don't know where all the dollars go. So you need to have a budget to work with. Build an emergency fund is really critical. This will keep you out of debt. Live within your means. I love what Warren Buffett said. If you want to be a millionaire or financially free, live below your means, get out of debt, and save money. It's that simple. In building something for yourself in a gig economy, you got to evaluate risk tolerances, because there's a lot of different ways to have money work for you, and there's risk involved in anything we do. Another thing is diversify your investments. Invest for the long term. Maintain a good high credit score. That's critical, especially if you decide you want to go into business. You're going to need capital, and the stronger your credit is, the easier it is to fund yourself in business. And then seek out network marketing or affiliate marketing. These are 7 recession-proof principles that will get you through a recession. We saw the video, cash flow. It's all about the cash flow, money coming in, money going out. If we have more month than money, and that's where most families are today, and even businesses, they're on very tight margins of how much cash they have relative to the month. So we're going to be talking a little bit of how you increase your cash flow. It definitely helps you offset the problems of recession. We covered this earlier. The guy in the video talked about, would you want to have $10,000 a month for generations, or $1 million today? I would definitely want to have the $10,000 a month from generation to generation. When we look at the wealthiest people in this country, they have multiple sources of income, and it's the cash flow that they're living on. They're not living on the $1 million they have in an asset. They're living on the cash flow it generates. Critical to understand. If you want to be successful, do exactly what the wealthy are doing. It's not that hard. Is the gig economy recession proof? I'll basically say this. If you create your own economy, then you're recession proof. And if you have control of the amount of cash flow coming in, you're bringing in more dollars as the cost of goods and services come in, you're in control of your economy. So I encourage people, create your own economy, create your own cash flow, create your own business to do that. It is recession proof. In 2018, there were 3.3 million high-earning independents. When we say independents, that it would be somebody who's working in the gig economy. They're not working for somebody. They may be a freelancer. They're independent contractors. They may be network marketing people. And guess what? 3.3 million are making over $100,000 or more a year. And that's important to know. We're not talking here wish and hopes. These are real numbers that are out there today. So yes, you can do it. There are 4 types of passive income. We've covered this before. Buy a cash flowing asset. What would that be? That could be an apartment building that's generate rental income. It could be an investment that will pay passive income in the long term. You have assets that you can sell that will create passive income. Cash flow building assets. And I'll share some of the things I do that are cash flow building assets. Reverse passive income. That's a principle that I'm still trying to figure out, reverse passive income. So tonight I can't elaborate on that piece of the puzzle. Here's an example of something I'm associated with in an opportunity, looking at a company, I made an investment that will generate passive income. When this company hits certain milestones, it will generate very significant passive income for generations to my family. So you need to look for those opportunities out there. Be glad to share this with you if you want to know more about it. So a lot of people, we've talked in the past, right, Mark, about network marketing. Here's an area that a lot of people are utilizing to build wealth and passive income. It's in the area of affiliate programs. And nothing more what an affiliate program is that you use a product and or a service and you refer it to somebody else and they purchase the product, they pay you. And if they renew the product, if it has a renewal feature in it, a consumable, for example, every month you build a residual income. So find those things that you use that you'd like to share with your friends, your family, and business associates. I've been doing it for years. Things I use in my business, I refer them out, and I'll cover those here in a moment. We hear this all the time. We see a lot of these things on social media about real estate, owning rental properties, REITs, housing, flipping, commercial real estate investments. Here's the biggest problem with number one. Real estate does create more millionaires than any one asset. But the biggest problem is it usually takes quite a bit of money to get into that arena. And then we get into silver, gold, and oil, the commodities. Again, that takes money. There's risk associated with you. You need to be educated a little bit to make sure you understand the buy and sell principles in the commodity. Paper, that's your stock, your bonds, and mutual funds. This is what we've been taught to do. Save your money in your 401k or your IRA in a mutual fund or bonds long term. These strategies do work, but they're not nothing guaranteed. You have to take action on them. And then the last one, some business, especially online businesses, can generate passive income in a very significant way. Here's some of the passive income ideas to consider if you're looking to do this. We cover this. Invest in real estate. Find roommates. A lot of people have extra rooms in their home. You can rent those rooms out or rent your home out, vacation homes, those type of things, get passive income. Again, we talked about invest in stocks and bonds. Start an online business. This is the easiest one to do in today's environment with affiliate marketing and network marketing. Easiest one to do, startup cost. Create media assets. The content you have, your intellectual property, you can sell that and make residual income. Doing online surveys. There's a lot of different ways. Get paid for to browse the web. There's a lot of opportunities out there. They're looking for people to do chores or tasks that they will pay you month in and month out. And then I always believe in this principle as well. Getting cash back, utilizing those programs out there that give you bonuses. We see them all the time with our frequent miles on our credit cards. That's a cashback type program, or they do matching dollars. It's just leveraging somebody else's money and they will pay you to do that. So all different ways. And then I didn't even know this one. This is more in tune with that younger generation. Get paid to play games.
Yeah.
Mark, how many games did you play and get paid for?
Yeah, I'd welcome that, but
I'll just share this. These are the passive income things I use in my strategies. Number one is Dub, video email. It works for me, and I share it to other people. If they subscribe, I get paid month in and month out. Of course, we've talked about ASEA, having a product or service that will meet some market need in the health arena. That's my long-term strategy right there. Live Good is also, it's sort of a nutritional line of products, high quality products, sort of built on the model of Costco. you pay a membership and you get your products at 50 to 75% off of retail. That's a very significant savings, especially when it comes to inflation. So I've implemented that in my strategy. Then, of course, Be Connected is what the platform we're using here. It pays us to share it out as well. So these are some of the strategies I'm using right now. As I run across those things that run parallel to my purpose and cause, I will implement them, because my goal is to have five to 10 passive income streams coming into my household. There's 4 of them right. So, Mark, would you come away with that tonight?
Well, it was good. It's always good to do other things, because you never know what can happen. And,
That's right.
Particularly in today's society, what's happened, 2 years ago, your health, that's a commodity big time. I mean, you got to stay healthy. And
Right.
I think that's great what you've shown us. There are an item or two there that I'm involved with as well, and that's what I'm trying to do is just look at different options, opportunities. So you just can't rely on one source of income. And I think sometimes people realize it, Tom, but they struggle with it. They're worried what their friends or neighbors will think, and just to be perfectly honest and blunt, your friends and neighbors don't pay your bills. So,
No, they don't.
You got to do what you got to do. You know what I do on weekends. And if any umpires listening out there, I would welcome you to come talk to me about 2 of these that Tom showed, whether it's a SIA or Be Connected. You ought to take a look at it just for something different, because Lord knows there's enough umpires out there that take abuse, and they could use a break every now and then. But I'm just and the other thing is with the SIA, it's a great tool to have in your umpire toolkit. If you've got pain, or if you've got a situation that you want to stay hydrated properly, whatever it is, and I would take a look at that as well.
Yeah. It always comes down to find those things that run parallel to your core values, the core things you're doing, so you don't have to go off in different directions. All I can do is just change lanes without any major conflict. So
I like that. Change lanes. You often hear that, Tom. Stay in your lane, bro. So no, that's
my
good.
highway is going to one destination, but I have many lanes in it. So
I know.
many
Absolutely.
lanes. I just shift
Absolutely.
as it. But we look at our economy. You look at what's happening right now. The thousands of jobs are being eliminated because of the recession.
Yep.
And that has a trickle effect in local economies, national economy, worldwide economies. We won't get into the politics of the recession and the things that's causing it, but it is a real thing, and we are in control. If you can control your own economy, you're that far much further ahead. Don't rely on somebody else to take care of it for you. I've applied these principles since 1983. Passive income. That's why I love the insurance industry. I do the legwork up front on the front end, but I have a renewal product that gets renewed every year, and I get paid again. So I've always loved that concept by serving people at the same time. If you can find that type of product or enter service, you're halfway home to solving financial problems. It takes effort like anything else. It takes effort to get up every morning to go to the job. And 80% of people that go to their job are dissatisfied for one reason or another. And I encourage you to find that thing that I says blows your hair back, you have a passion for, and there's plenty of opportunities that would support that. And if you can serve more people with your passions and purpose, you deserve to get paid. So don't worry about that. People worried about like you said, worried about what other people think. gee, Mark has got a side gig. He's got a part-time gig on the weekends. You know, I tell you what, I've done many different things part-time in between gigs that I didn't let my ego get in the way. I didn't care what other people thought of, because I'm going to take care of myself and my family first. And it's paid off quite well. So that's my objective, and one of my purposes in life is help people better understand how to become financially independent. There's a lot of great people out there on the social media networks that are trying to help people change their mindset, and it is a mindset. Just like I said in that short video, wherever you put your focus, that's what's going to be magnified. So if you have a lack mentality, you're going to draw lack. If you have a prosperity mentality,
Second time your phone went off, so the government's tracking you down, man. They want you to be quiet. You know, I'm teasing you.
but that's a good thing when my phone rings. It means something's happening out there, so people want to get a hold of me. So, but that's the whole purpose here of Elevate Your Profits. Is there's a lot of people that are struggling out there today. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out to myself and Mark about find out what we're doing, see if they're applicable, maybe a solution for you. You don't know until you investigate opportunities out there. And there's plenty of affiliate programs out there. You're using products or services now that do have affiliate programs. If you're satisfied with them, share them with your friends, because those companies will pay you to share it. So affiliates are not network marketing. You're just sharing product, and you get paid to share the product. They pay you a commission. Network marketing is a totally different. It's a business model that allows you to build outlets for product distribution. And I'd always tell people, what would you rather have? If you're talking about a pharmacy, would you rather have one Walgreens or 100? I'd rather have 100. Some of those would be high producing, high volume stores, and others will be smaller volume. So it's all about success. Creating passive income is also about outlets. The more outlets you have in the marketplace, Tom Ginn can always talk to so much. Mark, you can relate to this as well, right? You're in sales. You can only make so many calls a day. You can only, at some point, you're maxed out. So at some point, you do have limited income. People say that sales gives you the opportunity for unlimited income. Yes, it does, because there's no cap on what you can make. But if you find that product or service that will pay you next year at the same time for what providing a service or a product for somebody today, that's a win-win-win for everybody. So I encourage people to look at that. So,
right.
Anything else, Mark?
That's it. That's it.
We're going to have a short meeting, it looks like. So.
Well, you know what? You came on my phone right away, so that's a good thing.
Cool.
And Ernest Odell is watching.
Say, Ernest, how you doing? There's a man that understands passive income. He shows people how to use affiliate programs and
Absolutely.
Digital products to make money. So a lot of them you're using right now, why not share them with other people so they have the same benefit and the company will pay you? I love that concept.
Right.
So if you go to a restaurant today and you share it with your friends, the restaurant doesn't pay you to share it with your friends. But in affiliate marketing, find that product or service you use and then go ahead and share it. Most of them have an affiliate program. And
right.
You give them a link and they go to it. Let the company sell them, whatever you want to call that, persuade them that their product or service is what they need. And then you get that residual income.
Right.
Another one I love using as well is mailbox power, direct mail. I didn't put that one up here, but that's the one I really enjoy as well. So direct mail is a great marketing resource as well. So, and our mentor on the Grow Live Academy is big into affiliates. So anything he promotes, he's always an affiliate because he sees the value. So there's another example. Thanks Ken Walls for sharing many of the things that I've plugged in here, like Dub and Mailbox Power. It's only through your recommendation what I've ever been exposed to it. You've got to have an open mind. Opportunities are around us. If you have a closed mind, you won't see them. Keep an open mind, have a positive outlook about money, have an abundance mindset. Things start showing up that you would never have seen before. So people will show up, opportunities will show up. But one of the biggest tragedies I see is when opportunities come up, people are deprived of one of two things. They either haven't got the time or the money. And money gives you time, gives you freedom, gives you choices.
Right.
So I encourage people, have a strategy to build some assets, build some cash, have an emergency fund, have some savings, so when those opportunities come up, you can capitalize on them. And that'll also free up the thing that we want. We're limited on how many, you and I, Mark, right? We only have 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
But what money gives me is the freedom to choose to come and go when I want and do what I want when I want and who I do it with. And that's freedom. And they talked about that in that video, is we're all seeking some sort of freedom. Money buys us freedom. Money buys us time. Not more time, but frees up the time that we have more efficiently. So
I can't argue with you there, man. You're hitting a home run, as I say. You become Hank Aaron right now. So seeing as how I'm from Atlanta,
Well, didn't Hank Aaron play in Milwaukee too?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So
there's a connection there.
that's it. So
Some people feel he's still the true home run king too, but I won't get into that.
yeah, we moved into the era of steroids and all that type of stuff with the Canseco's and
the reason I brought that up, Tom, is I think sometimes people are looking for that shortcut, the fast buck, and what you're showing here and other people that are involved in these programs, they're not like the quick rich scheme. They're practical things that you can apply every day, and there's no hype. There's no hype in health. I mean, that's why I'm involved with a C. I'll be perfectly honest with you. There is no hype in your health, and I want to keep mine. So that's why I'm in.
no matter how much wealth you have, you lose your health, you lose it all.
Right.
I love what Lee Osler said here. Be a side hustle thousandaire. There's so many people out there promoting become that millionaire, billionaire. And in reality, if we weren't born up a Rockefeller or something, we can't comprehend those big numbers with a lot of zeros.
Right.
But we can comprehend what would an extra $1,000 a month do in your budget. $1,000 a month is equivalent to $500,000 asset.
Right.
So you just increase your net worth. I always look at things that I can sell. The business I have, that cash flow has been demonstrated, it's consistent. That's how business evaluation is, their cash flow. You can then sell your business for 5 times that cash flow easily, or more. So find those opportunities that you can sell, pass on to your family. That's so important. So a lot of these opportunities are out there, give you that opportunity. You own the asset, you own the business. You don't own the parent company, but you own the business you built, the cash flow that you created. And that's important. You want to have ownership and that you can transfer it as well. So these are little nuggets I'm throwing out there, hopefully that get your attention. So if you have questions or evaluating opportunities, I'd be glad to sit down and help you evaluate that at any time. So.
Absolutely.
So my friend, anything else we want to do? You got, last week was Gina's birthday, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah, we had a great time. Yeah, we went out and celebrated and did our thing. So that was nice.
Cool.
And it was very peaceful. You never know what you get on a Monday night when you go to a restaurant, right? Because everybody's hustling and bustling from the weekend. So, but the food was good,
Okay.
Hey, should I give a plug of the name of the restaurant? Does it, since we're talking about,
If they're an affiliate program, take advantage of it.
Well, Jeff is the owner. That's all I'll say. That's a first name. And unfortunately, he's a diehard Falcon fan. So, Jeff, if you are listening out there, God bless you. He's seen them cellar dwellers, and I'll go back to the days of Fulton County Stadium till the present. And that Super Bowl debacle, there was some team from New England. I won't get into it. I think his last name began with a B, ended with a Y. He wore number 12, and you can fill in the blanks, everybody else. But yeah, that was a stinger here in the Metro Atlanta that year. People were dumbfounded. But, but that's all really. I appreciate you taking time and sharing with us as always. And I would just tell anybody, don't be bashful, don't be shy, do not be embarrassed. Everybody's going through this. People want to act like they're, knocking it out of the ballpark. Hey, I'm just going to tell you right now, I know what I do. I know who I am. And, I'm on a mission to get from point A to B, and that's it.
Yeah, you got to have a strategy, a purpose, and why as well. We've talked about that in the past. And Dr. Lee Osler will talk about that as well in his book. But he gets in the nuts and bolts. He's more of an analytical science guy. So he gets into money principles, the rule of 72, and some other principles that important to understand about money, how money really works, the power of the rule of 72. So how quick money doubles. So what we wanted, who else do we got coming up here in the future besides Lee coming up? Do we have some other guests coming in April?
I have some people I'm waiting to hear on, sir. So I'm hoping to throw 2 or 3 people at you next Monday and saying, here's what we got. And then you can tell me, oh, we can't do it that Monday because I've got other people as well. So
yeah, we've got on April 3rd next Monday, Lee Osler.
right.
And on the 17th, we have, I'm doing a recording on that Monday, so she won't be on. But tune in, turn on your notifications, share this out, and we never know who we can impact. I'm all about helping people win in the money game.
Nice.
It takes some work, it does take some effort and focus, but it's well worth it, let me tell you. Financial freedom, financial independence is a place you want to be. So
So true. Hey, I got a reprieve yesterday because we got rained out, so I didn't get yelled at, at all yesterday. Other than by Gina. No, I didn't get yelled at all, really. But it was kind of funny to see if we were going to play these games or not. You go back and forth. And, there again, it just makes you think, trading hours for dollars and, going out there and taking abuse. I get paid for it, sure. But, you can go anywhere from, say, $300 to $600. How much abuse do you want to take? I kiddingly say that. But you got to have the right frame of mind to do it, too.
I guarantee you the average family today has less than $500 of discretionary income. Inflation is eating that up. A lot of families can't come up with $1,000 if the car broke down to fix it. Right. That's a tragedy in our economy and the wealthiest country in the world. It takes a strategy. So you've got to have a good understanding how money works. Apply those principles. Like Warren Buffett says, anybody in this country can become a millionaire. It's going to take a lifetime of work, but live below your means, save some money, get out of debt, and you'll become a multimillionaire. And the sooner you start, the easier it is. The longer you put it off, the more difficult it becomes. You have to put more and more money away. But in our country here, less than 3.5% of the American people have a net worth of over $1 million. Less than 3.5%.
Now, I'm going to share this with you because I'm getting earnest comments. I don't know why they're not showing up here, but he said, I told him, he was watching, and I said, he's a believer. He said, multiple streams of income have allowed me to work 1 hour a day. Boom! With a big exclamation point. And, that's awesome.
But if I was to ask him, did he start out working 1 hour a day? No.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. But Ernest, thank you so much for sharing that. And you ought to check out Ernest. He's got some good stuff out there he's doing.
Yeah, make sure, Ernest, that you put your contact information in the chats. We're here to support you so you can support those that have desire to have financial independence and financial freedom.
I love the dialogue I'm getting here from my Orthodox brother, Ernest Odell. I won't go into that, but he is, like myself, or try to be. He said, most people don't have an entrepreneurial mindset and don't understand how to run a business. They need your help. And then he goes in all caps with an exclamation point, education.
Yeah.
And when you think about these different programs, that's what they do. But like Ernest says, you got to plug in. And, you don't just sign up, show up, didn't work. Where's my million, or whatever, you got to go through the process. There's that word again. And you mentioned something about millionaires in the past. And I just there's not that many of them left. Greatest Generation. Go check out their bank accounts. My father was one of those, and he did what Warren Buffett said, live below his means. He did various things. Back then, they weren't calling it gig economy. My dad used to have a saying, why you in the Army Reserve? Why do you umpire basketball, baseball, football? Why you work at the Bethlehem Steel? Why do you do this? He said, because I got 3 kids and they got a bad habit. They like to eat. When they open up the refrigerator, they want to know what's in there, not, how come it's not there. So, he was very succinct and to the point, had a very unique way of putting things. But think about it. A lot of guys back then did all that, worked overtime, got paid time and a half. They did all those crazy things. And the guys that were in sales, worked pretty much round the clock. I'm not making fun of them. That's what they did. Yeah, and here, yeah. And Ernest, he's coming up with some good stuff. Ernest, thank you so much. And we need to get your comments up here.
You get him back on again.
Yeah, we need to have you back on with us, Ernest. Just remember, it took Grant Cardone over 25 years to break his first $1 billion. I worked, okay, you ask, what did he do? This is Ernest now. I worked 18 hours a day for over 20 years before I got my break. So there you go.
And a lot of people think becoming financial independent is luck. No. By having an open mind, you're just aware of when opportunities come, your right mindset. There's opportunities around us right now that if you don't have the right mindset, you won't see them. You won't recognize them. I think like in the short video that we played, our net worth is going to be based on the 5 people we hang around with the most. You can take and average that out, that you'll find out your net worth. So always upscale your circle. Get in those circles of people that number one, have the values you do, believe the way you do, or can demonstrate how and willing to help you get there as well. Upgrade your circle, because you get just like that opening. You can't solve the problems like Albert Einstein's using the same methodologies that created them, right? Whatever that saying was. It takes different thinking. So hopefully tonight we get you to start thinking about what you're doing and what are the options for you. There's so many ways to make extra income in our economy. Some is like what you do, Mark, right?
Right.
You love sports, so you have an opportunity to take something you have love doing, and you officiate basketball and baseball games. Find those things, because an extra $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month, Mark, you probably agree is a very significant impact.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, because a lot of these families I see when I'm at baseball tournaments, and I'm talking about elite travel programs to, and these people are spending anywhere for their kids to participate, the higher level baseball, anywhere from $2,500 to $4,500. And that's crazy. And then they travel, go here, there, everywhere.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about, yeah, they need to be doing something like this. It's not cheap. It's travel baseball is definitely making someone money. I mean, so, and it sure isn't the umpires. He said, yeah, Ernest came back again after he said about 18 hours. I'm sorry, Ernest, I'm throwing out your comments here. They're great. Most newbies, I haven't heard that in a while, get frustrated with this industry because they don't make their first gazillion dollars during the free trial period. And he said, and he goes, duh, it takes time and work to get it. And I think you hit the nail on the head as too, and Ernest will agree. No one here, I don't care to watch those catfish videos. I'm standing here in front of my yacht or in front of my, whatever car, big deal, If you get on and talk to me about, hey, I can show you how to, increase income where you're not going to be living, and looking over your right shoulder paycheck to paycheck continually. And, it's going to take work and effort, but along the way, you're going to be earning some money. So, with $500, $1,000, help your cause. And that relates to the average person out there, And
there's something I was going to put in here, but I'm not an accountant. I would just say this. A very significant benefit of being a business, having a side gig, is the tax benefits. The average home-based business saves, and you can look this up. Any advice get from a certified tax person. So don't take Tom Ginn's word. But I've saved hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years by being in business in tax savings. Uncle Sam will give you tax credits and tax deductions for the expenses you have normally for your cell bill, your internet, those type of things. Let the tax laws save you thousands of dollars. I probably saved $4,000 to $5,000 a year easily in taxes over the last 40 years. That's a very significant amount of money. And then saving that and compound it out, that equates out to a 7-digit number. So another reason to be in business, not a hobby. Create a business, and the tax savings are significant. So the tax laws are designed for business people, not wage earners. Unfortunately, I hate to say that to folks. So get a side gig. Let Uncle Sam give you tax credits and tax deductions to reduce your cost of what you're already spending money on right now. Like in my place right here, this X amount of square footage in this office, I get to write off that square footage because this is my business office. This is where I do business. So that I'm able to write off my residence or a portion of my residence to taxes. My wife has an office across the side of the building here, and she's able to write that portion off as well. So it's significant. So in reality, if I take my tax deductions, I live rent free. When I do the balance sheet with the deductions I get and credits and what I'm outlaying, I basically live cash free. So, and then of course I've accelerated getting my mortgage paid off in a very quick way as well. So I don't want to carry that out there. So anybody that's looking how to apply some basic principles, I'm a certified Dave Ramsey coach. I can share with you how to get out of debt, how to stay out of debt, and then how to stonewall those savings into assets to make you money. So I'd be glad to work with anybody in that capacity. So.
Right. I just popped that up there for Ernest. Ernest is on Facebook, Instagram. You probably catch him on TikTok, LinkedIn. He's everywhere. So check him out. And there's
thanks, Mark, for posting that up for him.
Yeah.
We're here to support anybody who's in business. I love entrepreneurs.
Right. And
I know what you go through. I've gone through everything you can think of being in business for myself. I've got some pretty significant stories. Maybe someday I'll I'll write a book on. So
He goes, heck, brother, I don't even look at the price of eggs anymore. That's a good one. Did you catch that? He says, I don't look at the price. And you know what? What Ernest is talking about there is that is how you have to approach any type of business. I call that looking over your shoulder. I love baseball, and it's about your approach. You get in the batter's box. You're not going to get a fastball right down Broadway every time. Sometimes it's going to have some English on it. It may break left, right. It may curve. It may drop. And you have to adapt, improvise, and overcome. And, if you're just, you've talked about it, there's nothing wrong with saving. But if you're just into holding on to what you got and not willing to open your mind up a little bit, you are going to be freaking out when you go to the grocery store, like Ernest said.
that's freedom. So he's created that more than enough money to cover his basic needs. So when he goes to the grocery store, he doesn't have to think, oh, gee, the price of the pork went up. I can't afford to buy pork this week. That's where most families are. And I just encourage people, an extra $500 in your budget, you won't even question the price of eggs or what the price of a steak is anymore. So
I know. Well, I'm making a comment here. I'm sorry.
create your own economy. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, there you go, Ernest. You can pay for my eggs. I'm sorry. I'm teasing you, buddy. But yeah.
The question is, Mark, do you want them over easy or scrambled?
I don't know. Let's see. I'm waiting for him to respond to that. He may tell me, hey, I'll make you an omelet. I'm like, yeah. And you know what you're showing here, talking about the chicken, the egg, and all that, what Ernest does, what we're talking about here as well. It's about, creating an omelet for yourself. Try 800 a day, and you don't worry about who's bringing home the bacon. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's what he's, So thank you, Ernest. I'll send you a truckload of eggs. Oh, good. They're going to be coming from the Dallas metro all the way up here to Hot.
Where Ernest is in Texas?
Yeah. Man, I appreciate that, buddy. I never know how to spell or pronounce the grocery store. Is it Lidl? Somebody help me out there, but that's the place we go to. So yeah, I'll tell them they're on the way, Ernest, and here in the Peachtree Corners, people will be going crazy. You'll have to wait until after Lent to eat eggs, and he's right, because we get into fasting. And that's another thing to stay hungry and stay motivated. And Ernest will agree with me on that one. We all could stand to drop some LVs. So yeah, that's a good thing to do too. Detox yourself and get off the junk food and all that cholesterol related type food that we like to eat but shouldn't eat, and red meat, too much of it, all that.
Well, my friend, I hope that coming off the cuff, our conversation this morning, hopefully we gave somebody some good ideas or have them
Absolutely
start reevaluating where you're at and what you're capable of doing. And I guarantee you, financial freedom is a pretty nice place to be.
Well,
I built my financial freedom. I love what Lee Osher says. A side hustle thousandaire. That's what I've done. I learned how to make $1,500, $2,000 a month extra income in my entire career in life. That extra income stream. I tell you what, it will make you a 3.5%er in this country, if not higher.
Right.
So So Mark, why don't we wrap it up? We'll play.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. It's top of the hour. We ranted and rumbled and rambled and stumbled and bumbled, and that's okay. I enjoyed it. Got a lot out of it. And you know, hey man, for all you that are out there looking for something, reach out to Tom, reach out to myself. Do we have all the answers? Heck no. But that's why we're plugged into different things where we can get you those answers. And that's what I tell anybody out there. No one has all the answers, but it's like anything else. You got to start and take a step forward.
Yeah. So Mark, we're going to close out tonight with our corporate sponsor, ASEA.
Okay.
Tonight.
Outstanding.
Okay.